Okay, let's set the scene. You're the President of the United States. You've survived scandal after scandal, but now there's a tape, a single tape sitting in a government archive that could literally end your presidency, and everyone knows it. This isn't a thriller, this is real life. And the person at the center? Richard Nixon. August 1974. The nation is watching. Congress is whispering. Your closest allies are thinking about stabbing you in the back. Imagine the panic, the paranoia, the chaos, all because of 18 minutes of audio. Yeah, that famous 18-minute gap. Historians still debate what was said during those 18 minutes. Some say it was a discussion of how to obstruct the FBI investigation. Others believe it was an attempt to protect his aides, but the fact that it's missing made Nixon look guilty beyond doubt. Stick around, this is the story of a presidency unraveling in real time. Now, here's where most people get it wrong. They think Nixon resigned because people hated him or because of journalists banging on typewriters. Cute, but no. The real problem, he had lied. And the evidence? Irrefutable. Congress was watching, but not just any Congress. They were a divided Congress. Nixon had supporters, loyalists. But on August 5th, the White House drops the smoking gun tape, and suddenly, Republican leaders, men who had defended him for years, feel betrayed. John Rhodes, Hugh Scott, Barry Goldwater. These aren't radicals, they're the pillars of the Republican Party, and they walk into the Oval Office like ghosts, calm but deadly serious, and they basically say, "You're done. You don't have the votes." And Nixon, he knew. This is not bluffing. He had counted votes in the Senate. He only had 12. 12 senators willing to save him. That's less than a third of what he needed to avoid impeachment. And here's the twist. The president has the codes for nuclear weapons. People actually feared a berserk Nixon might just launch them. Defense Secretary Schlesinger alerts military leaders. Check every launch order with me or Kissinger first. This is nuclear paranoia at its peak, my friends. Not a movie plot, real life. So Nixon sits there, August 7th. The tension is so thick you could cut it with a knife. Rhodes, Scott, and Goldwater don't raise their voices. They just drop the truth in the room. Picture it. Nixon sweating under the Oval Office lights, thinking through his options. Impeachment? Certain. Trial? Brutal. Conviction? Almost guaranteed. And then, the worst. Public humiliation, losing all control over the narrative. He decides. Resignation. First time in U.S. history a sitting president quits. August 8th, he addresses the nation. "I am not a quitter," he says, but in the same breath admits, "I must put the interests of America first." Classic Nixon, trying to spin humility, trying to preserve dignity, while reality is punching him in the gut. Let's break it down. Number 1, August 5. Smoking gun tape reveals Nixon lied and orchestrated the cover-up. Congress loses almost all faith. Even staunch Republicans switch sides. Number 2, August 7th. Republican leaders calmly deliver the verdict. You don't have the votes. Nixon's options shrink to nothing. Number 3, August 8 to 9. Resignation speech. Helicopter farewell. Ford sworn in. The longest-running nightmare in U.S. politics ends in less than a week. And here's a side note most people forget. Nixon doesn't even have a public meltdown. No shouting, no dramatic exit, just walking away with his family, past reporters, onto Army One. It's eerie, almost cinematic, except it's real life. And the public, shocked, fascinated, scandalized. Now you think it ends there? Nope. Ford steps in, faces immediate chaos, and makes a move that shocks the country. Nixon is pardoned on September 8, 1974. Boom, done. No trial, no conviction. Public outrage explodes. 7% of voters explicitly say nah in 1976 because of the pardon, and Ford's approval rating drops 22 points. Meanwhile, Watergate prosecutions roll forward, 69 people charged, cabinet members convicted, lawyers, spies, even the plumbers who broke in. The list is insane. John Mitchell, Haldeman, Ehrlichman all go to jail, and Nixon, financially broke, giving secret interviews to David Frost in 1977, trying to reshape his legacy and still dodging full accountability. And if you thought that was it, laws get rewritten. Presidential Records Act, Ethics in Government Act, privacy laws, FISA. Congress decides never again will a president operate in the shadows like this. Watergate changes the system forever. Picture it, Nixon, legendary for paranoia, surrounded by secret recordings, tapes, and loyalists who secretly hate him. The guy who thought he could control everything, heck, he even tried to spy on political opponents, gets outplayed by his own obsession with secrecy. And Ford, the guy inherits this mess and says, I'm pardoning him. Classic political mic drop. Some call it mercy, others call it strategy. Either way, history never forgot it. And you know journalists love this stuff. They coined the suffix gate because of it. Watergate becomes the measuring stick for scandal. Koreagate, Deflategate, Pizzagate. Yes, that's real. You get the idea. So what does all this mean for us mere mortals or presidents? Three truths. Power is never limitless. No one is untouchable. Lies catch up, and often in the loudest, most public way possible. Betrayal hurts harder than any protest sign ever could. Watergate isn't just history, it's a lesson, a warning, and a blueprint for political chaos, and a reminder that even a president can't escape the consequences of his own secrets. So here's the real question. Do you think Nixon got lucky with that Ford pardon, or did he cheat justice one last time? I want your thoughts below. Hit subscribe. Trust me, it gets juicier than any TV drama you've ever binged here on Dark Observer.